Good evening, YouTube. It's your boy Mac here. So today's video is going to be about, I'll tell you a story. It's crazy, but the topic of this video today is going to be about synchronicity and how to recognize it as you're starting to ascend and you're starting to become more spiritually aware of what's going on in your life. So first, I'll start by saying synchronicity is an experience of two or more events which occur in a meaningful manner but which are casually unrelated. In order to be synchronistic, the events must be related to one another temporarily, and the chance that they would occur together by random chance must be very small. When you notice the same coincidence happening more than once and it begins to own a meaning, it becomes a synchronicity. So let me tell you about my day today. I had to take off today because my child wasn't feeling well and was running a temperature. And so basically I was hanging out with my cousin since, I was there and I'm up at 6 o'clock in the morning. And we're talking about relationships and things I've been through with my ex and, some things that happened in my childhood. And basically that, nowadays when you come to relationship and love, he quoted my parents, and they're basically saying when I first, got to introduced to them, that I could tell they weren't a happy-go-lucky, be all over each other type relationship, but that he knew that if my dad ever needed something, my mom had his back, and my mom, if she ever needed something, had his back. Now, here's a caveat. She comes downstairs and wakes up, and then she's like talking about some things that me and my mother and my daughter had words about. And basically she was like, if your father ever needed something, I'm there. I've been with him for 39 years, and though I may not like his ass, I'm there for him if he need me, and he's there if I need him. And that's how we got each other's back. We're in this together. And I'm like, yo, she just literally talked about what we were talking about a few hours ago. And then, so I'm like, all right, whatever. Didn't pay much attention. I go upstairs, get ready to kind of just chill out, try to get some writing done because I've just got a lot on my mind. I then was walking past Dr. Oz, and this brain surgeon was on there basically talking about how she had been in a boating accident and she had drowned and broke both her legs. But when she broke her legs, she said she felt at peace. She didn't feel like she was losing air. She didn't feel like the pain from broken legs. She felt the presence of God. She said it was so beautiful that she was upset that she came back and was revived, because she won't see that again until she actually does die and is at rest forever. And she was basically saying she doesn't fear death because with what she experienced, there's no room for fear. There's no room for the joyous amount of love and happiness and acceptance that she felt. And then it was crazy because the subtitle at the bottom of the screen said scientists are figuring out that the human brain, consciousness does not reside within the human brain. So I bring that back to synchronicity because all these different isolated events where if I was just walking around and not thinking about the things I was thinking about, or for example, I chose to wear this today because we won last night and we're going to the Super Bowl. You add these two numbers together, numerology-wise, it makes 3, which is a very powerful number in numerology and spirituality. So I'm like, something is trying to get me a message. And so I'll share this with you. I looked up my horoscope because, I'm pretty into my horoscope. I'm a Pisces, for those of you who haven't figured that out. And it said this. It said, someone may be telling you that you are chasing a pipe dream now, Pisces, and maybe you are. They may be telling you that your head is in the clouds, and maybe it is. And all of that is a part of your huge charm. But just because you have a pipe dream, and just because your head is in the clouds, doesn't mean that you can make a certain dream a reality. While fantasies are nice, you must create a viable plan and begin taking real steps toward making that plan a reality. Get started is a great time for that. So I was like, I wonder what it's talking about. Like, I'm not completely satisfied at work right now, but I know change is coming, and I know music is my passion. So where am I really supposed to do right now? So then I went to astrology.com to see if it was any different. And so it says, the information you're getting from around you is a little hard to make sense of, at least in any way you've tried so far. Fortunately, you're quite comfortable in the realm of the unreal, where the edges don't have to meet and mysteries are generally better left untouched. Your grip on the situation, slippery as it is, should still help you find your way. So it's like, I'm going down the right path, or am I thinking about the wrong path, or is music the path I should go on? And it's like, it's confusing because I genuinely don't know. And here I am about to hit my 30th in March, and I'm like, yo, I've accomplished a lot, but I don't feel like I'm living to all my potential. And just like I told you in my previous video, you gotta live to be your best self, or otherwise you're gonna be at unrest. So I bring that back to synchronicity because all those events happen in a day. And I'm gonna just read you some clips from this article I found. It said, who hasn't experienced synchronicity in their life? Who hasn't had it happen in their life? You think of someone for the first time in years and run into them a few hours later. An unusual phrase you've never heard before jumps out at you 3 times in the same day. On the back street in a foreign country, you bump into a college roommate. A book falls off a shelf at the bookstore, and it's exactly what you need. So that's an example. Now, synchronicities can also show us how there's a connection between the inner world and the outer world. There are not separate realities, but one and the same. And consciousness itself is a bridge between these two dimensions. The external and the physical world that we observe and experience as reality is the mirror reflection of the internal or non-physical world. Synchronicities give us a glimpse into the inner workings of our own mind and how it relates to the very fabric of nature and reality itself. Many people who constantly seem to notice 1111, the time, and other repeating number sequences appearing over and over again when they least expect it often consider the experience to be more chance or coincidence. This belief is related to the concept of synchronicity. A synchronicity for someone on a spiritual path is that moment in the fabric of time when suddenly and briefly become consciously aware that we have made a deep connection with the universe, or that the wish is greater than our individual self. Those not yet familiar with the concept of synchronicity would most likely pass off these moments as mere coincidence. The theory was first presented by the Swiss psychologist Carl Jung. So basically, the meaningful coincidences are saying that coincidences are common. They can happen to anyone, anywhere, anytime. They actually happen more often than people think, but not everyone is always aware of these coincidences every time they occur. A majority of people don't pay much attention to them and find anything meaningful about them. For these people, what could be a powerful, meaningful synchronicity is merely a coincidence and simply forgotten. So I've always loved the movies where someone says synchronized watches. A team of heroes will split up to do their individual jobs, but to complete their mission successfully, they had to do it to synchronicity. I just think that I enjoyed watching it so much because somewhere inside me, I knew even as a kid, that's how it is for all of us. So 1111 and synchronicity. People from all over the world, from all walks of life, are starting to become aware of the 1111 number and the phenomenon and synchronicity. Many people are searching for the meaning of this experience and they wonder why it's happening to them. And so the definition of synchronicity was originally developed by Swiss psychologist Carl Gustav Jung. Jung co-defined the word to describe what he called temporary coincident occurrences of acausal events. Synchronicity with the number 11. There are many interesting and somewhat strange coincidences involving the number 11, from ancient prophecy to cosmic events, from the Maya calendar to the events of September 11th. There is a strange synchronistic pattern involving this number in many world events throughout history. So I read all that to say basically something's happening with me that I realize, but what I don't get is how is it happening to everybody at the same time? So I'm going to wrap this up because it's kind of eerie, but as I continue to meditate, as I continue to think about the things that matter to me, it helps me unlock those channels and become more unafraid of them because I'm not completely ignorant to what's actually happening. So again, this has been your boy Mac here. If you have anything to say, like, share, subscribe to the channel. I'm begging you. We got a following we're building here. We're under 200 subscribers, so I appreciate all that are already there, but we're not there yet. We're not reaching enough yet. Follow me at bmac388 on Instagram. You can search me on Facebook if you want to follow my ins and do's and don'ts, what I got going on in life. And you can always comment in the description, and I'll definitely get back to you. All right. So again, as I always say, take care of each other, take care of yourself, and at the end of the day, it's one love. It's been your boy Mac here, Mackonreal. I'm out.